That must be where the Canadian truckers come from. Mountain.
Train the muscles, not the joints.
Welcome back to Natural Glam Bodybuilding, and today I'm going to talk to you a little bit about stabilized movements versus non-stabilized movements. So free weights versus machines in a way, or barbell versus dumbbell, right? So there are subtleties involved here which are very important, and my camera already shut off on me once, and the reason why I'm filming this video is because the audio messed up on the logging road already, so this is my third attempt. I'm not frustrated. No, I'm not. So the first thing I'm going to say is that although free weights can be a great foundation for your bodybuilding practice, free weights can be a great foundation for your training, and they can help stimulate the entire system. Say when you're lifting heavy weights, you're stimulating the entire system, so that way the endocrine system's getting stimulated. That way it encourages overall bodily growth. The one thing people do miss, and I missed this a lot when I was a kid, when I was just starting out in this whole thing, I would get so obsessed with free weights that I would sometimes throw the baby out with the bathwater and say, okay, machines all suck, or anything that's stabilized sucks. But one thing I missed out on is that when an exercise is stabilized, in some cases you are able to fire the prime mover much more effectively because you're not fighting the balance the whole time. This just in, Canadians have finally found their balls. Mostly in the trucker demographic, but it is good news to see that there are testicles in Canada once again. One of the reasons why a lot of major bodybuilders will use machines is because they feel that they can actually stabilize the body, and therefore they can push that major muscle group into a much deeper level of failure and get a lot more results because of it. So this is important if you want to stimulate the muscle or make it grow. Now the other thing is, just because an exercise is causing you to have to balance doesn't mean it's more effective. Try doing a one-legged squat on a Swiss ball, right? We can say that you're going to be fighting the stability more so than the prime movers hitting failure, right? You're going to basically be using up all your fatigue trying to balance instead of actually activating the prime muscle group. So in this tradition, or in this way, it is good to sometimes use a machine or a barbell instead of a dumbbell. So case in point, when I'm doing dumbbell curls, sometimes because my shoulders are unstable because of the hockey injuries, like the labral tears and stuff, I notice that sometimes my shoulder hits fatigue before my bicep does, because the shoulder's trying to stabilize the joint and keep it in place. Now, of course, I have an injury, but you may also have an injury in some area and find this is also applicable to you. So I find going to the barbell once in a while is more effective for me to hit absolute failure in the biceps than using dumbbells, because if I use dumbbells, the shoulders are fighting the stability a bit, you see? So once in a while, especially if you notice that you have an area that's injured or it's unstable in a way, you may notice that you get an added benefit by going to a machine or a barbell or something that's slightly more stabilized instead of always being married to doing free weights. So this is a very important thing to understand. So it's not either or, it's more about combining both, and some people may get more benefit from doing a stabilized type of activity as opposed to a balanced activity. And there can be reasons for that, and a lot of times injury can be one of them, or sometimes just the reality of certain exercises are just more stability dominant instead of major muscle group dominant, right? If you're just too busy stabilizing and falling down all the time, you're not necessarily getting a good prime mover workout. The other thing is that if you're using heavy weight and you are losing your balance, there's also a huge risk of injury, and it's not necessarily a more effective way to train. So that's another thing to think about. Wow, my camera hasn't shut off yet. It's amazing. So yeah, this is something to think about. I hope this helps you out in your training. Thanks a lot for watching. If you need to get a hold of me, just go to naturalglambodybuilding.com, and thanks to the Patreon supporters, and take care for now. Mountain. Natural Glam.